I've had to deal with this for so many years. I'm sick of it. The Rays Devil Magic, I'm done with it. Get it out of my division. I don't want it anymore.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track. Look it up. It is.
But it's called off. Cut off by Clement. Baseball hits the runner.
Wow, off the head.
The ball hits over the head. Helmet. Sosa to his left. Nice play. Spinner wobble, but he throws it away. Hits the
Welcome back to the Off the Dome podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Kobe Van Nort, joined today by only one of my other co-hosts, Zev Black. Zev, how are we doing today?
Doing great. Yeah, I'm back in the Bay, visiting my parents, the place where it all started, my spawn point.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I guess my spawn point was the hospital, but my secondary spawn point.
That's true, actually, yeah.
I'm taking a page out of Aaron's book here. When he went back to LA, he showed off a home run ball. I am doing the exact same. So here we go. Home run ball majors. This is Little League major season. We were the best team all year long. We had my dad was the head coach. He drafted just all 12-year-olds. So I feel like that's just the best strategy. It worked out really well for us. Headed into the playoffs, the final game of the regular season was an 8-inning walk-off. And then every single game in the playoffs, those 5 games, they were all walk-offs. The first game, which this home run ball is from, we're down by 2 runs in the bottom of the 10th inning. And we play 6-inning games. So 10th inning, down 2, I just lace a fastball over the center field fence. I crushed that ball, tied it up, walked it off in the next inning, went on to win our league, went on to win the TOC, which not a lot of my friends can say that they did.
Okay.
It was a magical season. And
Sounds like it.
This home run ball, put this in the No Soul Hall of Fame. This ball's legit.
That's awesome. Dude,
Some other
I
No
don't
Soul
think I can
players,
remember.
Nico Horner.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You played with Nico?
Uh-huh. Dude, we were boys. Nah, he was 4 years older than us, but
Still
No Soul
cool.
nonetheless.
Yeah. Still cool. I, to be honest with you, I don't remember. I guess it just means I didn't have many Little League highlights, but I don't have too much of a memory to what I was doing down there in Little League. Didn't hit too many home runs, which I always thought I felt like a power hitter. But I wasn't.
You
to say
do
the
give
least.
off power hitter.
Yeah,
vibes.
that's what I thought. But no, I was a better pitcher.
Yeah.
More of a PO type of guy back in my day.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too
Yeah,
many.
this was my only home run. Only
Really?
home run in baseball career.
That is awesome. How far was it? Did you get a stat cast on it or?
Yeah,
EV?
it was maybe 487 feet,
Alright.
112 off the bat.
Dude, and that's how the Mako bats were moving back in the day. You had a Mako,
Dude, they were crazy.
they were out of this world.
It was one of those the bright orange ones.
Oh yeah.
When
I
they
mean,
first come out, yeah.
it's so good. We all had the same Little League experience in a different format.
Yeah. Were you still playing when the the torque bat came out? The green one with it was the handle that moved. Remember that?
Yes, but vaguely. I feel like I was starting to get off of baseball when that was happening. But I was there for it. But yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, dude, great time in Little League. Speaking, my weekend was great. I went down to Pismo Beach. A lot of fun. It was my birthday on Friday, and so me and my buddy decided to go down to Pismo. Did ATVing for the first time. I do have something to say on ATVing. Now, maybe I just don't get
That's
the
a lot
hype.
of fun.
Maybe I'm not that good at it. I didn't really have that good of a time. It was fine. I'm glad I did it, and I can check it off of stuff I've done in my life. But to me, I don't know. I think I'd like more of a flat ground area if I'm gonna be driving around something that goes fast. The big heads up that we got when we first got started was hey, there's some drops that go about 10 to 20 feet. You may be going up 2 feet, and just make sure to look below you because you might just drop down straight down 20 feet.
Oh my god.
So that being the first heads up I get, I was well, I'm gonna go pretty slow, and got stuck in the sand 5 times, and maybe you just got to be good at it. Maybe it's just got to because my friends enjoyed it. They had a good time. I was kind of just you hit the whole yeah, that was cool, but really I don't know. But again, I'm glad I did it. But yeah, that was kind of fun. But Pismo was really cool. I'm really glad.
Where the ATV is that the one where it's like you have the roof on you, or is that just
They
pure,
had
like,
those
a
too.
bike,
They had like
four-wheel
buggies or whatever.
bike?
It's like the 4-wheel
Uh-huh.
like bike that we were kind of go
Oh,
around.
that's a good time.
It was a big area that we had, and like don't get me wrong, like I think the
Yeah.
concept of it is cool, but like I was just too nervous to die or break something that I was just kind of like taking it easy. But it
I
was
get
cool.
that. It's
Yeah.
you were in the dunes?
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there?
yeah. We're in the dunes.
Yeah.
And that's just cool to say. So that alone was like enough for me
Yeah,
to go.
that's-
Like just to tell people I was at the dunes. Like that just sounds cool.
It's a little aura boost.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, it was a good time. Really glad that I went and didn't get to watch much baseball, to be honest with you. Kind of out and about,
Yeah.
didn't have enough time to pop on the games. Although I stayed connected. The Mets. Let's talk about them a little bit. They are still in a bit of a disaster mode. It was kind of felt like they were turning a corner a bit. Injuries haven't really been on their side, but they just got swept by the Marlins. Got capped off by Devin Williams blowing a save, which he hadn't really done in a while. Give up a grand slam to Heriberto Hernandez, and I mean, are the Mets just cold, or is their roster like seriously flawed?
You know, I think the Mets got issues, honestly. At this point in the season, I'm willing to say that. For starters, their rotation is just decimated by injuries.
Yeah.
So, like, what are they really supposed to do? It kind of feels like when they get a guy back, another guy goes down. I mean, Soto right now, he's not playing these past couple days. Isn't playing again today because he's sick. It's like they got an illness going around the locker room. So I don't know if it is necessarily like the roster's flawed as much as they've just been pretty unlucky this season. But I don't think they're gonna do anything. Like they're not gonna make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting what they do at the deadline. They don't really have the pieces to sell. They don't really have the pieces to buy. They're gonna be stuck, and then you have you have Bo Bichette, who has an opt out after the year. Like, there's no way he opts out. He'd be losing like $50 million if he does that.
To them, I do think that the offseason felt like a failure because of losing Kyle Tucker, and I think that really rushed things for them. Of just like, we need to put a team together to compete with the Dodgers. We need to put a team together to even just compete in our own division. And I feel like a lot of the pieces that they got, like, they weren't bad pieces. You know, Luis Robert, Bo Bichette, like these guys, Devin Williams, Luke Weaver. I mean, some of these additions, like, they're not bad additions by any means. But again, it just felt like, who's the best available? Let's attack it. And sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. And I think when you're rushed, especially making those decisions, it's hard. And I think that's one thing that the Dodgers do well too, is build chemistry based on the guys that they're signing. So there is a little bit more that goes into it. Like, yes, they are typically going for the stars. It's not hard to look at Shohei. Like, if Shohei was a jerk, then I don't think it would have changed much. But for the most part, I feel like they do a good job of kind of like looking into that and building that chemistry throughout. So I think that's one thing the Mets kind of are hurting on. But yeah, like you said, like they're stuck. Like there's not much you really can do.
Yeah, and it's like it's a tough position to be in. I think the Red Sox are in a similar spot. Like, I'm not sure what they're gonna do this deadline. And I guess the offseason as well. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
You've seen with the Mets, like, they've called up a lot of young guys. I do not think that is the right way to go about things. You don't want to rush these guys to force them to be the player that you expect them to be 3 years from now this season.
Yeah, 100%.
So that doesn't work out very often.
Yeah.
I think this situation, it's probably not going to work out. And then on top of it, they're still the Mets. Like, things just don't work out for the Mets. So
yeah, they're in a tough spot.
I'm happy you brought up Shohei, by the way.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Shohei real quick. I saw, like, the report came out this week. When he was still on the Angels, the Rays offered a trade, Caminero and Carson Williams and a couple of other players for Shohei at the deadline, and Artie Moreno says no. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's absurd. That is malpractice.
Yeah. It's so, I will give him the slight credit of the idea that, like, by all means, you want to hang on to this guy, but there has got to be a reality check for how that team was looking and how that roster was compiled with Shohei. The odds are low that you're going to keep him, but I will give him that one of, like, that is a tough decision in the sense of, like, you do want to keep this guy, but I don't know. They needed to put his reality glasses on and realize that guy's not coming back. Just a glimpse into the Angels
like, I feel
franchise.
Yeah, they're awful. I was just talking about Anthony, one of our buddies talking to Anthony, one of our buddies is an Angels fan, and he was like talking about Rendon and how pathetic that whole situation is, and I didn't realize they're still paying him this year.
Yeah.
I thought they were done. They're still paying the guy.
Yeah.
That team stinks. And I feel like Shohei only went to the Angels in the first place because of the DH rule. He wasn't going to go to the Dodgers when he first came over because he couldn't DH.
100%.
And then he goes to the Dodgers once they changed the rule. Actually, I have a question for you, Kobe. What do you think about this new DH rule with specifically two things? DH in the National League as well, but also how if he's the pitcher, he can come out of the game and keep hitting. Like they've made that rule just for him.
Yeah.
I want to hear your thoughts.
I like the rule. I think it's a new twist on the game, and I think that I'm a little biased to actually like the rule, but at the same time, I do think that it's an up and coming thing that I'm not gonna say that we're gonna have a ton of pitchers that hit these days like in the coming future, but I do think players are taking notes and the game evolves, and I think that this is one of the first of our generation we're seeing sure there's Babe Ruth, but this is the first that we're seeing where it's like a genuine, just amazing hitter, does everything right. And I think we're only going to see more of that as we go on. So with that, I think that the rule will benefit other teams in the coming future. But yeah, I like the rule. I think it was a good addition. And one thing I will say, though, is I did enjoy pitchers batting. Now, they didn't try, and that kind of ruined it. It just felt like there was no preparation whatsoever. It's automatic out. It was you get excited if they get a hit because it doesn't happen often. That's not that interesting. But I do like the added strategic value that it plays into the game. I mean, it really is huge. Walking that eighth hitter to get to the pitcher, or what move, knowing that they're going to try to bunt the runner over. It's those little things. I do kind of enjoy the game, but with that, taking out rules adds different strategy. And yeah, I mean, overall, I do think that it was best for the game in terms of entertainment value, but I do miss it a little bit.
Yeah, there was nothing better than when Madison Bumgarner hit a bomb. That was so awesome. And I know for sure if we were doing our home run draft back when he was pitching, there would be a week where I take him. There's a good matchup for him somewhere in there. I'm taking him to hit a home run in that game. And that would just be an electric moment for us. I miss that. For Shohei, I will say, I have no issue with the rule either. Honestly, I view it as just all about money. You don't want the guy out of the game when he's done pitching. So MLB, of course, wants to keep him in there, get more money, bring guys more, viewership, and yeah, it makes sense to me.
Moving on here, another team that was in the World Series last year, the Blue Jays. They've haven't really looked like the same team whatsoever. And just yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago, the Blue Jays had a bit of an injury scare. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Dylan Cease both left Sunday's game. Dylan Cease was something with his hamstring, and Vlad got hit in the elbow. Are the Blue Jays kind of cooked if one of those injuries becomes serious? I mean, those are two important pieces on their team.
Yeah, I think maybe this is weird for me to say. I actually think Cease is more important than Vlad. Just the way the Blue Jays are constructed. Cease is so crucial to that rotation, and they won last year on really good pitching and timely hitting. And yeah, Vlad was obviously a huge part of that playoff push, and he's such a good player. I'm not taking anything away from Vlad, but Cease has been incredible this year.
Yeah.
That being said, I said last year when the World Series kind of started, I feel like I was saying this, but definitely once it was done, that was their chance. And we've talked about it on the pod this year too. That was their chance. I did not think that they were that good of a team to be able to make the World Series. It just kind of came together. You said this year, what team? You said the White Sox, right? Was it the White Sox were the Giants from 2021?
No, the Cardinals.
Cardinals were the White Sox from 2021. I feel like the Blue Jays last year were really like the Giants from 2021.
Yeah.
Fell apart for the Giants after that. I see the same thing happening to the Blue Jays. I don't think they're cooked. I just don't think they were that good to start with.
Yeah. No, and I think that in the postseason, anything can happen. Teams can get hot. Things can start, churning. And it's Vlad was playing out of his mind and really hasn't had that same success. And it just seems like, they lost Bo. They have Okamoto, who I think is solid. It's like they have the pieces. It just, to me, I guess it's just finding that spark again. And realistically, it's probably going to be found, if anything, in October. So they got to get there first. But speaking of their division, that's a tough division. And on the top of it is the Tampa Bay Rays. I wouldn't have expected it. I would not have expected it coming into the season, but it's just the Rays. And you talk to anyone who's a fan of an NL East team, AL East team, I'm sure you have the same thoughts. The Rays are just always good. Like there's no like they're not amazing. They're not going to be the best team in baseball. Though right now they look like they're playing like it, but they're always just in there. Like they'll sneak in and find their way into potentially a wild card spot, or they're just going to be competitive. And it's like you look at the roster and it doesn't jump out at you. They got a few names here and there, Caminero, Yandy Diaz, and pitching's all right, but it always finds a way to get the job done. Do we owe the Rays like an apology? Like I feel like I looked down on them going into the season, and now look at them now.
It is so frustrating, Kobe. Like I have had to deal with this for so many years. I'm sick of it. The Rays devil magic. I'm done with it. Get it out of my division. I don't want it anymore. Oh my gosh. Every year it's the same thing. They play small ball and they win games.
Yeah.
I wish the Red Sox could do it. They never can. They don't even try. Why try? Like, the Rays have it all. Why no team can emulate it? It is so frustrating. Dude, they're a good squad.
Yeah.
They just play the game right. They don't hit a ton of home runs, but they hit timely home runs. They get guys on base and that's when they hit their bombs.
Yeah.
So up and down the lineup, it's not impressive. You're right though. They do have Yandy, Caminero, Aranda. Those three guys are studs.
Right.
Simpson's the fastest player in baseball. Walls is defensively great. It sucks offensively. Doesn't even matter though. Like they win games.
No, it doesn't matter at all. It's kind of crazy to me. Like it's cool to see, and like them, and I would kind of relay them in the National League side of things would be like the Brewers. I think they just play a different kind of brand of baseball that's hard to emulate. And yeah, like you said, like the small ball factor, having speedsters who can get on base, having guys who can just get the job done in those situations where it's like you just need contact. You don't need a guy to go yard. And I mean, we talked about it, I think it was last episode, of just how the game has evolved to people just trying to be home run or bust now. It's like that's what it feels like everyone's gunning towards. And they don't need that. They play a smaller brand of baseball, and it works. Staying in the AL, though, the A's. The AL West.
I have one more thing.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I got one more thing to say about the Rays.
Go ahead.
The old saying goes, "Good things happen when you put the ball in play." Good things happen when you put the ball in play.
Yeah.
And the Rays do that better than anybody. They don't strike out at a high level. They strike out like average team, but nothing crazy. They put the ball in play. They bunt. Bunting is back. We talked about this last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Bunting is back, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the Rays are kind of turned into a little bit of must-watch TV. That they lead the AL East. Kind of interested to see how this season shakes out because it's not a bad division. They're just dominating it. But yeah, moving on to
they strike out at the lowest rate. They have the least amount of strikeouts in baseball.
Did not
I thought that they were kind of middle of the pack this year. Least amount of strikeouts in baseball.
That'll
good things happen when you put the ball in play.
Yeah, there you go.
Incredible.
All right, for the third time, moving on to the Athletics, who lead the AL West 1 game over 500. Does the AL West just stink, or are the A's actually a potential threat? I mean, they're only 2 games up. It's nothing crazy. They're not this huge gap between them and the next team. But it is cool to see, especially from a team last year who just felt like the season was over in June. Now it really feels like they're starting to build something in a good division to be trying to build something. What do we think of the A's right now?
Yeah, I do think the AL West stinks, actually. There's not a great team in that division. The A's offense is really, really good.
Yeah.
But their pitching is atrocious. And I think that they know that, and that's intentional. Like, they're in Sacramento. There's no point in getting great pitchers to pitch in Sacramento.
Right.
You see it every day. They're building for Vegas, truthfully. And for their offense to be this good right now is such a plus. They can make the playoffs. They probably will make the playoffs, frankly. Just the American League in general is so bad. But I do think the AL West is really poor, and they're taking advantage of it as best they can. That being said, are they even above 500?
They are.
They're a game above
Yep.
500.
Yeah. They're
So,
there.
What does it really mean? One of 4 teams in the American League above 500 right now?
Which is crazy.
really
I mean,
great.
I knew that I think we all knew the National League was a little bit better coming into the season, but to be that low of a number, like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, I mean, at one point there was a full division that wasn't over 500. Like, that's weird. It doesn't feel right. But sure enough, yeah, I agree with you. I think the AL West is just wide open as it gets. I think the A's are just right now on top, but in a week could be completely different. And I think that'll kind of stay true throughout the whole season. I don't think there's going to be one team that really runs away with it. I think teams are just going to be at ebbs and flows throughout the whole season. It would be cool, though. Obviously, from an employee over at Sutter Health Park, if there was ever potential for playoff games, I don't know how well that's been discussed yet. I know last year it was kind of said, like, yeah, we'd play some playoff games here. I even heard as much as the World Series, which I don't think would have happened. I think it was easy to say. No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. I think our max capacity is like 12,900, something like that. Not a big number at all. Media alone for a World Series coverage would take like 6,000 of the seats. So it wouldn't happen. I think it was easier to say, and at the point where it was like, the A's aren't making the playoffs, like, we can go ahead and say that we would have done this. I don't know, but I do think that if it were to get to that situation, I think they would find another place to play. But a wild card series, I could see it. Like, I could see it happening.
So you think they would play it like Oracle?
I don't know where they'd play. I heard there's this Coliseum in Oakland that
Getcha.
it's open. It was funny though. Actually, there were people when the A's were coming to Sacramento that were saying that, oh, the Rivercats are going to go to the Coliseum. I was like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, that like was a thought. That was talked about. I remember that.
Would have been really weird for them. Like, that just would have been a weird switch up. I wouldn't have made any sense. I'm glad they didn't. I like having the both teams, although obviously it's a little more fun watching the Major League games. But yeah, I'm glad to have them both there. Would have been really funny too to see a AAA team in a Major League ballpark and vice versa for a Major League team.
Dude, AAA is fun baseball though.
It is.
Like, obviously Major Leagues is Major Leagues, but I love some minor league ball. That's what I was working with the Giants.
Yeah.
Doing minor league games for a bunch of years. Do you you've gone to spring training?
Yeah.
Which do you prefer, minor league or spring training?
That's a good question. Now, here's one thing that's underrated that I do want to tell people if you're unaware of it. If you're thinking about going to spring training, whether that's in Florida or Arizona, I recommend one thing. Go to your team's facility. Now, if you don't have the opportunity to get out there, because I know that some of them are very spaced out, like let's just say that you're a Yankees fan and they're playing at a specific stadium and their complex is 2 hours away, but this game that they're playing is 30 minutes. All right, so be it. But in the scenario where you can go to their complex, I recommend so highly going to the practices. That to me, and like this comes from a big baseball fan, I enjoy watching spring training, but you're getting 3 innings of the guys you want to watch. Now, if you know your team well, you'll obviously be able to see other ones, but they're just trying stuff out once it gets to the 5th, 6th inning and on. To me, it's so much more fun because you're really close to the players. I had the pleasure of going to the Dodgers one like 2 or 3 years ago, right when we got Shohei, and it's like I'm watching this guy walk right past me, as close as I'll probably ever be to him. And I mean, it's not the most interesting thing in the world. You know, it's not like there's no set schedule, but you get to watch them take BP. Sometimes they walk through the field. I have a picture, we'll actually put it down here, of me and James Paxton when I met him at one of the practices. Kind of random, but cool. Like, they're literally just walking around you. And yeah, for me, I think that was much more of an enlightening experience compared to a spring training game. And you don't have to spend any money, I think, for the most part. I don't know if they've changed that since, but free, and you get to be right next to those guys. I totally recommend it. On the flip side of things, I am still taking a spring training game over a minor league baseball game.
Yeah. Why is that?
You know, I think for me, I still do like the major league aspect of it, and seeing I guess the biggest thing for me is the face value of who I'm watching. Now, if I'm watching a good rehab, maybe in AAA, maybe that changes it, but I still just enjoy the major league atmosphere and seeing those players play a little bit more, and most of them are getting paid millions of dollars, and I want to see them play. There's a reason for it. So yeah, that's kind of where my bias lies.
And I guess like in spring training, you kind of get the best of both worlds. Like, you get those major league players, and then once they come out, it is like AAA, AA guys.
Yeah, 100%. You get to see some of the guys,
both.
And usually they're some of the better ones that they're looking at to potentially have on a AAA team or a major league team. So yeah, I do think that that's a little bit more intriguing for me. But yeah, don't count out minor league ball games. I think they do a good job. I've been to a few minor league baseball fields, and I think the biggest thing that they do is like understanding that a lot of people are here for a good time. You know, a lot of people aren't here that are diehard River Cats fans that are really paying attention to the season standings and where they are. They're there for a good time, and I think that a lot of minor league ballparks cater to that really well, having good promotional nights and having good just in between innings festivities, if you will. They do a good job at capitalizing on that for sure.
Is there a star fan at these River Cats games, like one guy that everybody knows?
Yeah. There's a guy named Curtis who I don't know too much about his backstory, but he I don't think he was initially hired by the team, but he kind of walked around getting fans hype and got a job out of it. I haven't seen him recently. He was there a lot last year, so I'm kind of waiting on his review. I think he was back. I don't remember, but Curtis is a guy to watch out for if you ever go to a River Cats game. He'll get the fans going, get you excited. I'll be on music sometimes, ready to play a good sound to get the crowd jarring. He beat me to it. He's already on top of it. So Curtis, cool guy. I think past that, there's like some season ticket members who always find their way into the stadium. They're always there. It's funny. Like there's this like older couple that will always make sure to snag on Kiss Cam. They're always ready to go. I think they might just go for the Kiss Cam. I don't know, but yeah, it's cool. It's nice to have some people. There are definitely some people who like to come consistently. But for the most part, yeah, it's just good timers. So I don't know. The vibes at a minor league ballpark. If you haven't been to one, totally recommend it.
Nice.
I
got a little challenge for you.
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm setting a 60-second timer.
Okay.
And you have 60 seconds. I'm gonna cut you off.
That's fine.
Aliens come into Earth.
Yep.
And they go to a baseball stadium and they say, "What is this?" And Aaron, I want you to get a little 60-second timer going too. I need you to explain baseball in 60 seconds to an alien.
To an alien?
Someone who's never seen the game.
Okay.
To an alien, something who's never seen the game. I'll give you 10 seconds to prepare.
I'm ready.
Get your thoughts. Oh, you're ready.
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I missed it.
Okay, so have you ever heard of cricket? It's kind of similar to that. If you haven't heard of cricket, you get this long wooden bat. The whole goal is to hit the ball as hard as you can. These balls are going to be coming at 100 miles an hour. Maybe can't totally get it to kilometers in this much time, but it's coming fast. You got to be ready to swing, and your goal is to go around the base path. This home plate that you're swinging at, you got to get back here. Really hard. These pitchers are throwing really quick. They also have movement on the pitches. You got to be ready to go. Keep a slow mind. And there's two teams. One team going against another team. One team's home. That means it's their stadium. They get to enjoy having fans that are with them, fans of the other people in the stands who are watching the game, and they're usually rooting for the team that's home. If you are home, you have an advantage. I don't know why I'm hitting so hard on that. I'm trying to think of what else to add. Your goal, you have 3 outs, you have 9 innings. Each inning, each team gets 3 outs. And I'm out of it.
How do you win? That was pretty
high
good
score
effort.
wins. I got too deep into the logistics
that was
of
important.
it. Oh man. Okay.
That last part I feel like was one of the most important parts.
I
of the
know.
game.
I was like trying to think. I was just like, I think they would get it.
They get it. The cricket, which they've probably never heard of either. That was a good.
I was hoping that.
Yeah,
I was hoping that they had. And then, so here's the thing with my explanation: if they had heard of cricket, they'd be fine.
You're good.
And I'm good. I probably could have stopped at 5 seconds.
Explanation done.
Yeah, which I would think that aliens have heard of crickets. Cricket. Sorry.
Cricket. I was talking to one the other day actually, and they did say that cricket has.
You were talking to a cricket or an alien?
Past Earth. An alien.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they just came to Earth, and I was just out and about and dropped right in front of me and hey, asked about cricket. I said, "No, you know cricket." And I said, "Yeah, I know cricket." It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they might have been confused by the question. They might have been thought you were talking about the bug, but
it's like
I understand
the Beatles, same idea that happens. Right. That's a common misunderstanding there.
Yeah, let's talk about cockfighting. Edwin Diaz.
Oh This was crazy.
Crazy little bit of a transition there, but yeah, let's talk about that. Does this matter? Like, I don't have too many of the details about it. I don't think there is too many details. But like, I don't know.
I don't know the details.
I don't know what to think about it. Hold on. He was allegedly involved.
Was wild.
So, for those who don't know, cockfighting is a blood sport involving roosters. It goes back to the 17th century. Roosters would be bred for size, stamina, strength, and ferocity, and be put against each other in a ring called the cockpit. And fights, not always to the death, but people would pretty much wager on these fights. Per the reporting of the Associated Press, cockfighting in Puerto Rico was first officially recognized in 1770, but the practice was banned in the U.S. after the U.S. Invaded the island in 1898. It wasn't until 1933. Okay, you get it. But
I don't think it's illegal now. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah,
not legal.
So the USA Today made some allegations that Edwin Diaz was featured in Facebook posts on February 2nd and February 4th by Club Galístico de Puerto Rico, which served as advertisements for cockfighting tournaments in his Dodgers uniform. Unique. The first advertisement translates to, "Good morning to all the cockfighting fans who follow us. This Saturday, February 7th, we will be honoring the work of one of our members in Major League Baseball by dedicating this event to him and wishing him the best in this new chapter. So come to the Coliseum, take a picture with Sugar, and get his autograph. We'll be waiting for you." As if any dispel any doubt, Mr. Peter cites a March 10th story from El Nuevo Dia with a photo of Diaz standing in a cockfighting arena on his day off from the most recent World Baseball Classic game, where the Diaz family allegedly brought 4 roosters to fight. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's any implications that come along with that. I don't know if that's just like, all right, cool, he was doing that. Nothing's really happened since, but it's came out like a few days ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure about what would happen to him. Just that quote is just crazy. He's like, it's a pastime I've followed since childhood. It's legal in Puerto Rico. Thank God, otherwise I wouldn't be here. Like, it's not legal, as far as my understanding.
Yeah.
And then he said something about like. He said the only difference between roosters and baseball is that in the ball, you don't engage. You have to carry both bags. On the ball, I carry the 2 bags, the one to win and the one to lose. Here with the roosters, the same. I'd rather lose, and if not to engage, but you always look for a way to look good. And it's like, what is he even talking about?
Yeah.
I'm so confused with all of his quotes on it.
No idea. I really just wanted to bring it up. As you can tell, me and Zev don't have too much knowledge on the situation, but I don't really know who, if anyone really does. I guess we'll see how that cookie crumbles. Not quite sure if he will have to serve a suspension for that. I mean, that would just be a funky way to go down, but leave it Edwin Diaz, I guess. Finds a way. I mean, you know, when you're on the IL, you know, I mean, I guess he wasn't on the IL when this happened, but I'm sure, you know, gotta pass the time somehow when you're bored. Like it, I get it.
we don't promote this.
No, we're not promoting it, but it's chill. Anyhow, yeah. I know you had some questions you wanted to kind of spitfire at. We're kind of just bouncing around right now, asking each other some questions. You know, missing Aaron right now, but we want to just kind of, you know, have a good time, answer some questions, more of a laid back episode for you guys. Well,
especially after last week when he said he doesn't like to have fun. Like, this is the time that we can have fun without it.
Yeah, 100%.
I got a couple questions for you, a couple good ones here. First of all, what's your favorite baseball movie?
So that's a good question. I am in a weird company because my favorite baseball movie, I'm a big comedy fan, is The Benchwarmers. And I just love that movie. I could have been like, oh, Sandlot, but come on. I'm a Benchwarmers fan, and I've weirdly met a lot of people who haven't seen it, which like really grinds my gears because I quote it a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I want to relate to people on this, and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking to just a random Joe. I'm talking to baseball fans. So if you're a baseball fan watching and you haven't seen The Benchwarmers, watch it. It's a great movie, great film, and it'll give you a good laugh. But yeah, that's probably my number one. How about you?
Nice. Yeah, I gotta say Moneyball. It's so classic.
Great movie too.
About Oakland, which I love. I will say they like leave out so many key details. Like, they don't even talk about the pitching at all. They had 3 like stud pitchers: Mulder, Zito, and Hudson. Like, those guys were great.
Yeah.
Multiple Cy Youngs there. And they had MVPs. Tejada wins an MVP a couple years later. Like, they were like, the movie's all about like this hodgepodge group of guys who comes together and like wins games. Like, no, they were a great team.
Yeah.
But the acting in that movie is phenomenal. The storyline is great, and just that connection to Oakland it hammers it home for me.
Understandable. No, it's a great film. I honestly, it's in my top 5. I haven't made a top 5 officially, but it's in there.
But that's in there.
Yeah.
What position do you think produces the most interesting players personality-wise?
That's a good question. Produces the best personality-wise.
The best personalities.
Right now my mind is just jumping to shortstop, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, and then I'm kind of thinking of the list of shortstops I know. Like, I
think it's just because it's like the deepest position talent-wise.
Right. So you get a bit more of a mix. I'm gonna go with right field, and I'm sure I'll think of more players as I go on. I think right and center are kind of in a weird tie for me. I think outfielders honestly have just they're covering the most ground. I think the most interesting personalities, like, my mind goes straight to Yasiel Puig. He's one guy that I can think of just such an interesting player, and that's who I'm thinking players like that, and I feel like you find that more in the outfield. I wish I had more references to get more players to name off the top of my head, but like, I'm gonna go with the outfield spots, not confidently. I don't know. Do you have a different answer?
I guess like I would say it's just shortstop. I mean, I think of like Lindor, Mr. Smile, like Ellie's fun. Witt's a good guy.
Yeah.
And, like, back in the day, like Ozzie Smith back in the day, like he knew how to have a fun time.
Totally.
I think shortstop, but that also is just like, maybe they're just the best players on the field, the captain of the team. Like, maybe they're just more front and center, and that's why I think of it. Underrated is pitcher. And you got like both sides of the spectrum. You have like really like weird, wacky guys like Greinke and Scherzer, and like known for their like off-putting personalities.
Right.
And then you have like the flip with like Justin Verlander, who likes to have a good time, like Robbie Ray, who's fun. Like, you have these just two separate sides of it.
Yeah.
And you don't mess with pitchers on their pitch and day.
No.
So
You don't talk to him.
you don't talk to him at all. Scherzer, I was just hearing a story about, who was it? Luke Roy was talking to Scherzer on his pitch and day, and Scherzer was none too thrilled about that.
Yeah, you leave him alone.
Luke Roy was like, I thought he was gonna punch me in the face. It's like, yeah, I mean, don't talk to him.
That's how I always felt about Kershaw growing up. I feel like he was kind of a jokester when he was on a day off, and then you see him when he's pitching, like, straight faced, like, you're not messing with that dude. And like, I'm sure it goes for a lot of pitchers, but growing up as a Dodgers fan, that's just what I saw. That was my perspective of like, don't talk to him, leave him alone, let him do his thing.
Was Scherzer the one who like put bubble gum on the matches and stuck that to the player's shoe? You know
No,
what I'm talking about?
yeah, that was Scott Van Slyke.
Scott Van Slyke. Oh, that's a good name.
Yes,
Wow,
it was either Scott Van Slyke. It would either happen to Scott Van Slyke or was Scott Van Slyke, and then I feel like Kike might have had his hand in there. But Vin Scully has a great quote: "Boys will be boys." Just great video. Yeah. No, there was always some antics going on in that dugout around that time. That team was, it was fun. When you, again, bringing back Puig, like, he was involved in all of that too. Like, it's like, that list of names, and then you get a guy like Greinke. Like, there were some funny people. There's actually a story, I don't know if you've heard of it, but like, Greinke back in the day was fed up with whatever Yasiel Puig was doing and actually threw all of his stuff off of the bus. Didn't really land much. I'm not quite sure what transpired following that. But yeah, he's a weird player. We could have a whole episode just dedicated to Zach Greinke and all the antics that he has had. I believe it's on Baseball Doesn't Exist. If you guys haven't watched it, totally recommend it. That Zach Greinke special where he kind of breaks down everything. I'm sure it's not even everything. I'm sure it's just the outer core of what Zach Greinke has done in his career. But there's a lot. It's a really good watch. Recommend it. But yeah, the overall, like, I would say, going back to my original answer, I'm going to stick to right field, not confidently. I feel like you get a little bit more personality. At least there'll be different answers too. But again, I just keep going back to Puig. I can't think of anyone else that's like fun.
Acuna, Judge.
Yeah.
He's got,
Right. There are some names
these guys
out
are
there,
fun.
so I like the position. But yeah, pitchers underrated too. There's just a lot of them. So it's a lot easier to have that mixed flow of like different players.
Yeah. Would you rather lose Game 7 of the World Series or not make it at all?
Lose Game 7. I mean, that's like obviously it sucks, but like you made it there. And like in the moment, obviously I would be like, I feel like right after losing Game 7, I'd be like, well, I wish I wasn't there. But then in a week,
yeah,
it'd be fine. Like then it's like I'm glad I was there. I got to experience it. And if it's anything like what the Blue Jays and Dodgers series, which a lot of times if a game's going to a Game 7, it's been a decent series at least. That's fun. Like I think that's memorable, and I think that's although you didn't win, it's something they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. So I think in terms
I don't
of
know.
yeah, I'm picking Game 7 every time.
Well, that example is like kind of why I came up with this question, because like Ronda just hit a home run. Dude, he is incredible this year. We just talked about the Rays earlier. Jonathan Aranda is having such a good season. And the Rays, they went up 1-0 in this game. Backs of pitching, and then they get a solo shot here from Aranda and go up 1-0 in the 6th. Dude, they're a good team. Anyways, the Blue Jays, I don't know if I would rather make the World Series if I were them. Like, that was gut-wrenching, that loss. They had so many chances throughout the entire series to win it, and they just didn't. And then for them to finally get to the Game 7, have even another chance, multiple chances in Game 7 to take it home, and they can't get it done. Like, that is absurd. It's just like it goes on and on. The list goes on and on with the Blue Jays for how many chances that they had. And I kind of think if you ask them, they would be like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't want to make the World Series. All right, like kind of off the back of that question, similar idea. Would you rather have one dynasty, and you're kind of in the midst of a dynasty right now, so good question to ask you. Would you rather have one dynasty that wins like 4 or 5 titles in a decade, or a different champion every year? Think of this as like a non-Dodgers fan perspective, but I also want you to bring it back to the Dodgers of like, you win 4 championships and you don't win again for like 50 years, or like one every, 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
Okay. That's a really good question. I would say one every few years. I think a dynasty is cool and it's fun to be like, we the best. But I do also think that like over the course of my life, I'd rather look back and be like, once a year I got excited. Like, you know what I mean? Like once a year I had that rush. Like not once a year, sorry. Once every 10 years I had that rush. Well, like to me that's like, I don't know. I think that'd be more interesting as a fan. You feel like you're working towards something. That's just how I view it. And also like if I have retrospect of like knowing that like after this like my team's gonna suck, but like let's just say in this scenario I don't. Like I have no idea that they're gonna suck, for the next 50 years or whatever. But I still think it would just be more enjoyable to, it takes a while, but then in 7 years, like cool, we won another. Like the whole like 3 and 5 or like something along those lines of like we've won this many is cool, but I'm taking I am taking the once every 10 years.
Yeah, the Sox kind of had that in the past 20 years. Like they won in 04, 07, 13, 18. Like they've spread them out a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. Like, yeah, winning 5 in a row or 4 in a row or whatever it is, like that's sick. Like the Yankees in the 90s, like that's pretty cool. Dodgers back-to-back here, like yeah, it's nice. But I kind of agree with you. Like part of the joy of winning is like the despair of losing.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand. So yeah, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's
Nice.
let's move it on up to our home run hitters. Again, we're trying to keep this episode a little bit shorter. What I was thinking about this week was last week
I'm excited for this.
I was in a bit of a hole. If you guys didn't watch last week, I had a little bit of heartbreak. I decided to make it more fun. I thought, you know what? Let's pick 10 players, 3 players up I don't really want to get, and then 7 that I do, and spin a wheel. It was a fun concept on paper, but not for me. I got all three of the players I didn't want to get. And surprise, I didn't hit a homer. So I'm at -3 on the week. Yeah, it was brutal. And like there was an expectation. I think my peak would have been like -1. I think that's like if like 1 or 2. It didn't happen. So I'm a little disappointed. This time I put a little bit of thought into it. Didn't go to ChatGPT, although I'm tempted to go back. This week we went with Byron Buxton, Willie Adames, and Christian Yelich. All guys, Buxton's hot right now. Willie Adames, I think that he's heating up a bit. I'm pretty sure he gets to play in Colorado, which is going to help out. Kind of want to go with him. And then Yelich, he's a guy to me that like he just came back from injury recently. He could heat up and give me a few. I mean, a lot of these guys that I'll usually pick, that's obviously the hope going in. But like, I have confidence in them. So those are my 3 guys. Didn't put too much thought into this. I'm hoping that the less thought I do, the better, because there's only so much you can do. This is gambling at its peak. So I am going with these 3 guys that hit me some homers this week. What about you, Zev?
Yeah, those are some pretty good picks. I know you and Aaron are both taking Yelich, right? Yeah, Aaron's taking Yelich.
Mm-hmm.
He actually he went deep today, as a matter of fact. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I am going with also a Giant. I'm going with Casey Schmidt. He is on fire right now, playing in Colorado. I think he has 3 homers in his past 7 days. I remember 2 years ago, kind of at the end of the season, he had like 15 homers in like 50 games. He was just like absolutely on fire. So he's the type of guy that when he gets hot, he really heats up. Someone you should pick up in fantasy, by the way, if you don't have him, if he's available in your league. But Casey Schmidt's my first guy. Going with Michael Harris as my second guy. He's also hitting the ball over the fence at a high level right now. They're playing in Boston. So hopefully he doesn't go deep in those games, but I'm hoping he does hit a bunch in Cincinnati later in the week. And then my third guy, I am taking Aaron Judge.
Whoa.
First time I'm taking, I have a good feeling about him this week.
King of New York.
Playing in Kansas City, against a bunch of lefties in Kansas City, and then he's coming over to Sacramento. You'll be able to watch him play.
Yep.
And I mean, Aaron Judge in Sacramento, like that's feels like a good recipe, right?
Don't hate it. I will be pulling for it. I would like to see it.
Yeah.
He's on my fantasy team, so I have a little bit of a reason to pull for it.
Sure.
So, but yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that, he hits 10 bombs and they lose every game.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
And then Aaron, as we mentioned before, he's going with Yelich. He is also going with Brandon Lau and Kazuma Okamoto. So I'm rooting for Okamoto. He's on my team.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, but I'm hoping
he just texted us saying, "Hope you guys aren't cheating. I pitched Yelich today before his bomb." Like, no, bro, we're not cheating.
Yeah, no.
What?
I made my picks last night. Like,
this is
ridiculous.
Yeah.
No,
This is where you can cue Aaron saying, "Yeah, we play it fair."
Yeah.
This is where you can cue Aaron saying, "Well, you are a Boston fan." Get out of here.
Yeah.
I can just hear him in my head.
The guy doesn't know how to have fun.
Typical Boston.
He said it. Like,
he said it himself.
He just wants to win. And like, good. Look, I'm all good for a good win, but at the end of the day, I like to have a good time, and that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? No wheel today, but the wheel will be back soon, and hopefully back for vengeance, because it really didn't do me so well the last time I rolled it, spun it. But yeah, with that. That's going to wrap up this episode for this episode 7. I will mention it. Our 23 subscriber special. Thank you guys. I was holding back the whole episode. I didn't want to mention it. But why? There's another one of you guys. Happy to have you for the ride.
We welcome everybody.
Every single person.
Everybody.
So, yes, I do appreciate everyone who's listening. Our socials will be down below, maybe down over there, somewhere around the screen. You'll see them.
I think you got to go to the side.
Over there?
I've been messing it up. I don't remember if it's this way or this way.
Might be up here.
I think I'm just gonna go like this.
How about
socials are down here.
They're around.
Yeah.
Make sure to hit us up with a follow. We are posting on socials just about every day, trying to get, some clips from here. We're also trying to add a little bit more. If you guys have any ideas and stuff that you feel like we should be talking about, or little things that you want us to add, please recommend it down below. We're always cool with some good suggestions. Trying to make this something that everyone wants to watch. So, thank you guys for listening. Again, thank you for I don't know where I'm going with this, but thank you, and we will see you next week on an Off the Dome podcast. I'm Kobe Van Nort, and Zev Black. We're out.